Hello and welcome to the Bag Talk Financial Literacy. And we're just going to be talking about wholesaling, driving for dollars. It's been something I've been kind of covering for the last couple of weeks, actually, last couple of months. And there's several aspects to driving for dollars and just wholesaling in general. Okay, so we all obviously covered what it takes to actually do it. I mean, all you need is a car and some gas to drive around the neighborhood and to find distressed homes. Correct. So the key to wholesaling is basically just information. Okay, the more access you have to information as far as the who owns the property, whether it's an LLC that owns it, an actual person, are they local, are they out of state, are they out of the country, getting their phone number, and there's several ways to get in touch with these people. Okay, so for wholesaling, there's all different types of marketing campaigns. I think we're kind of past the point where we're saying, no money, no credit, you can just flip houses and make money with no money down. I think we're all past it. I think everybody pretty much realizes to get into this business, you're going to have to put some type of equity in, whether it's time or money. But even on a low budget level, you're still going to have to spend some money. You can't just expect to get into this for $0 and expect to get deals. I mean, is anything possible? Yes. Okay, a broken clock is right twice a day. Okay, but we're talking about what's the more practical, what's the more likelihood. All right, so there's going to be some type of marketing budget involved. Okay, it can be $100 budget, it can be a $500 budget, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. Regardless, it doesn't really matter. You're still going to have to put in some time and some equity along with that. So even if you had $30,000 to do an actual campaign, if you were going to do direct mail pieces, if you were going to put out 500 bandit signs, if you were going to do a billboard, if you were going to, hire VAs and you were going to do cold calling and you were going to go out and you were going to do door knocking and you were going to do price per click and you were going to do Google AdWords, Facebook um, advertisements. I mean, no matter what it is, there has to be some type of method to what you're doing. So the actual budget, don't really worry about that. If you only have $100 to as your budget, that's fine. You can still get a deal done with just $100. Okay, doing some bandit signs, doing driving for dollars, $100 is totally doable. 150 is doable. 200 is doable. Okay, but you're gonna have to work a little bit harder though. Your time and your attention, your focus is going to be a little bit more than somebody that has a bigger budget because your opportunities aren't as much. Okay, because you're kind of working on a singular level as opposed to someone who has a bigger budget. Maybe they got a bigger team. Maybe they got bird dogs and all type of people working from acquisition managers. Maybe they got salespeople to talk to these people on the phone and whatever case may be. You still gotta have a methodology. You still have to close. You still gotta find, motivate. You still gotta find buyers. You gotta have a buyer's list. You gotta still be able to formulate and put together a deal that makes sense for the buyer and the seller. You gotta factor in your assignment fee with all that. So it's all these other things involved. So don't just get caught up in the dollar amounts. Just realize, regardless of what it is, you're gonna have to put some equity and time into this wholesaling. Okay. And so the main thing is it's just being consistent. And the consistency, you don't have to quantify the actual consistency as far as on a day-to-day basis. I mean, maybe one day you only do a half hour. Maybe the next day is 2 hours. Maybe one day all you got is 15 minutes. That's fine, but just be consistent with it. A lot of phone calls can be made in 15 minutes. A lot of bandit signs can be put up in 15 minutes, a half hour. You can do driving for dollars in a half hour. Okay, you can talk to one person and get out to their property to take pictures and evaluate the property in 30 minutes. It's just actually doing it. So don't think, well, I only got a half hour. Well, you shouldn't do it. You should still do it. So don't worry about how much time you use. Just actually do some time. Actually put in that equity of time, because the more you do this, the more bandit signs you put out, the more you're going to figure out where to put them, because you're going to start getting inbound calls. And I recommend you maybe doing a Google number, or maybe even using this app called CallRail. CallRail is about $29 a month. They give you about 10 phone numbers, and what happens is you can use maybe 5 of those numbers for, like, let's say in Detroit, the east side of Detroit, or you can use some of those numbers for the west side. So wherever you position your bandit signs, you can have that number accordingly, so you can know when you got different phone calls coming in, which areas are people calling. Okay, so let's say I use 5 phone numbers, right? And I hook them up to my CallRail numbers that they give you. They usually give you, like, you can choose 313-734-248, 1-800-188. It really doesn't matter. So let's say you do that, right? So you can put one here, and maybe all your calls are going to one number for one specific bandit sign in one area. Okay, and you didn't get calls from the other ones. So that's letting you know maybe you shouldn't put those cards, those bandit signs in those areas, right? So you have to find other areas. But it takes consistency to figure that out. It may take you 3 to 6 months to figure out where are the nice little sweet spots where you're getting the most responses. And that's just with bandit signs. We haven't even gotten into cold calling. I think cold calling is the most difficult thing for people to do. I know it was difficult for me, even though I had sales experience and I've called people on the phone. It's just weird. It's awkward. You're calling people you don't know. They don't know you. And they're going to ask you, where the hell did you get my phone number? How do you know who I am? What do you mean I'm selling my house? I'm not selling it to you. And you're going to get all type of rejection. You're going to get all type of anger and frustration coming at you. You're going to have people cursing you out, hanging up the phone. So the rejection and the responses is not always favorable. But the thing is, the more that you do it, the more calls you put in. They say it takes about 1,000 phone calls for you to really, really get comfortable in doing this, to get past all the objections, to get past all the questions people have, because you're going to start to realize, after call 150, 200, 250, 300, that people are going to start saying the same objections. That's the one thing I learned in sales. People are going to say the same thing. Well, I got to talk to my wife. I got to think about it. Not right now. This, that, my dog. It's just going to be all these different things. And you're going to start to realize they're going to start to say the same things. You're going to realize, what can you say to keep the conversation going? So I've said all this to say is that at the beginning of wholesaling, there's so many moving parts. I would suggest at the beginning to just have the right mindset and just realize that you're just at the beginning stage. Okay. A lot of times we're looking at people who've been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years, and we're saying, well, we're not getting those type of results. And you're just not going to, unless you're just born to do this. Look at people like Sean Terry. I look at people like Matt Paper and Max Maxwell and Flipman and, Clint Collier and all these wholesaling experts. They've been doing this forever. They've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of deals. Okay, so to them, it's just like clockwork. So just to come in at the entry level and to get that same type of production and results, you're not going to get that. So don't even compare yourself to those people. Okay, you're just getting in, you're just understanding the whole system, maybe real estate in general. It just all depends on what your level is, but it doesn't really matter, because it's just all about your motivation. That's the great thing of this. It's not that Sean Terry is better than you. He just has that motivation built in. He's done it so long. He's seen the results. He's seen the tangible results. So there's no reason for him to stop doing it. Okay. So that's all you're missing. It's all equal. You can be just as good as anybody else if you stay consistent and you continue to put in the hard work and equity. That's just what it's all about. Okay. So just continue to follow me on my YouTube channel, Mr. 313 Real Estate. I have a new podcast, Bag Talk. We're going to be talking sports, financial literacy. We're going to be interviewing entrepreneurs, talking about their stories, their journeys, and how they got into whatever particular field that they did, what inspired them So really looking forward to that. I think you're gonna like a lot of the guests that I have on. It's gonna be visual, so you're gonna see them. We're gonna talk. We're gonna interact. It's not gonna just be a question one, question two, question three, question four type of interview. It's gonna be kind of like a real conversation, real interaction, and I feel it's something that I want everybody to learn from. Whether you're an entrepreneur or you want to be an entrepreneur, I think it's everybody's going to benefit. You're either going to be inspired, you're either going to learn something, or you're just going to get kind of an idea of what it is and maybe an appreciation for entrepreneurs. I think sometimes we think it's just something that people just do and it's just like, but really have an appreciation for it, and maybe it's something that you would consider, or maybe it would inspire you to do it if you have doubts. And I think if you hear people's stories, because a lot of my guests have very interesting stories, most of the people that are very successful right now, it wasn't easy. It wasn't just this golden brick road and they just walked into prosperity. It was a lot of work and sweat equity. So I'm looking forward to that. Just continue to follow me on Instagram. It's 313 Real Estate, Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, man. I'm going to have great content coming up. A lot of financial literacy. We're going to talk sports, entertainment, a lot of things. So it's going to be a great variety of things for you to choose from. And just remember, this show is sponsored by Hyperion Capital. We are the light, and for your journey of all your financial needs for your business, reach out at HyperionCapital.net, and you can email us at contact us at HyperionCapital.net. We can get you funded in days. We can't get you funded. We're going to get you qualified to get funded. So you're going to get funded anyway. All you have to do is just reach out. So that's what you do. And everything's going to work out from there. So stay tuned for the next episode. Bag Talk. We're going to be doing a interview starting next week. Stay tuned for my first guest. I'm going to be announcing that in a few days. So stay tuned. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.